Hi, everybody. I hope you are having fun preparing for the holidays. Today, we're going to just do a fun session talking about some different toys that our team dogs tried out. And you'll have to forgive me. I maybe got a little carried away with the holiday theme, but it was kind of fun to do something different. So, today we're looking at dog toys and asking our dogs, our team dogs, what they thought about them. All right. So, who were our contestants in terms of the toys? We were testing out toys. Everyone got to pick some. And here they are. I'll go over these in more detail so you can hear a little bit more about them. But just a quick look at all the toys we tested out. Now, the testers, we had several testers, all exceedingly intelligent and good looking dogs. These are my 3 hooligans. And the reason I'm giving you a little bit of info on the kind of toys they like here is so that you can try to identify, if any of the dogs kind of match up with your dog a little bit, that might give you some hints as to whether they might like the same toys. So Jaspy here is loves all food toys and is very advanced with food toys, but he is afraid of squeakers. Juno loves squeakers and is also an expert at puzzle and food toys, but she's kind of lazy about it. She doesn't like the ones that require a lot of effort. And Little Pancake is more of a novice, although becoming more intermediate now. With puzzle toys, he has shown no interest in plush toys, but he does like the food toys he can either roll or kind of push over. So if any of those sound like your dog, keep that in mind as we go through their preferences. All right, Melissa's dogs. We've got Zuma, Pepper, and Bones. Zuma's kind of like Juno. She loves food toys, but she's a lazy puzzler, doesn't like anything real hard. But she is also ball crazy. She loves all kinds of toy balls. Pepper is your persistent puzzler. So if you've got a dog who really likes to stick with those food puzzles, even if they're tough, look at what Pepper liked. And for some reason, she's not that into stuffed toys, plush toys, but she does like to attack pillows. And Little Bones is a destroyer of plush toys. He also, like Pancake, likes those puzzles you can roll around. And he's kind of a sensitive boy, so he doesn't like stuff that makes a lot of noise or has unexpected, sort of moves unexpectedly. And then our last 3 testers are from our single dog households. Rachel's dog Coco is toy crazy. She loves pretty much all toys, and she also destroys almost all toys. So pretty heavy duty chewer, and she loves squeakers. Tiny Gracie is a little bit on the opposite end. She's a tiny dog and she has no teeth, so she doesn't tend to destroy things. She loves food puzzles and she likes those kind of toys that make crinkly sounds. And finally, little Billy, our bulldog here, enjoys helping cleaning out recycling, plastic containers and such, loves squeakers, and perhaps not totally relevant, but important point, she is a professional snorter. So these profiles are all provided by their moms or dads. All right. So what did we do? Everybody got to pick 2 toys, each of our trainers, and we gave them to each of our dogs one at a time. So each household had 2 new toys. And then we asked the dogs, this was very scientific, we asked them to rate the toys on a 0 to 5 scale. 0 to 5 stars. And we do have some tough cookies here and hard to impress. All right, so let's take a look at our results. We have video of the toys in progress. I have a little background info on each toy. And of course, the dogs' opinions of them. All right, first let's look at my dogs. Jasper, Juno, and Pancake. They tested 2 toys new to them. One is the iDig, which I'll tell you about in a second. And the other was I wanted a Christmas themed toy. So it was a Christmas tree toy. All right, about the iDig. Does anyone have an iDig at home? If you have any comments or questions, go ahead and pop them below the video wherever you're watching. So the iDig comes in two forms. This is the iDig Go, and it has this like extra sort of base around it. It is supposed to be good for dogs who enjoy digging. And the middle part with that paw there, that's fabric. There's actually pockets in that paw. And then there's 3 flaps total, the top flap and 2 other flaps that are round to take up that whole white circle. And each of those has an additional big pocket. So basically, you hide treats between the flaps and in the pockets. And then your dog is supposed to dig for them. So let's look at our testers. Here's Pancake, who, granted, with one front paw, has a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to digging. Nonetheless, he had a lot of fun with this toy. Juno, who actually in sort of real life outside is big into digging, was completely unimpressed, sniffed for a little bit and walked away. Whereas Jasper, also a big digger outside in the dirt, really liked this toy and got into the digging quite a bit. So overall, the 3 dogs on average, we got about 3.5 stars. Jasper gave it 5 stars. He really liked it, spent a ton of time on it. Juno almost gave it 0 stars, but I convinced her to give it at least 1, just, out of the goodness of her heart. Pancake gave it 4, pretty good, not his favorite, but he was willing to spend quite a bit of time on it. All right. Next toy. All right. This is a plush Christmas tree. And if any of you have that toy, that squirrel toy that looks like it's like a plush like stump with holes in it, and they're little like chipmunks. They're actually chipmunks, I guess, in the one I have, not squirrels. That the dog can like pull out of the stump. This is similar. It's smaller than the chipmunk toy I have. It came with 3 ornaments. You can see 2 of them in the photo, and they're squeakers. They have squeakers in them, and 2 holes. So the 3rd ornament is just inside the tree here. Now, I'm not sure these are actually meant to be used as treat dispensing toys. You certainly don't have to use them that way, but I think it's a fun way, especially if you have a dog who doesn't instantly shred everything, of hiding treats in there and making a little game out of it. So what do we have? Pancake, who's not that into plush toys, I should pause this, was interested in the food inside this one. I did have to pull one of the ornaments out so he could see there was a hole in the tree, and then he kind of planted his face in it and pushed it across the carpet like this. It was okay. He played with it a bit. He liked it. Not his favorite though. Jasper, I mentioned, is afraid of squeakers. He kind of gingerly touched this toy to try to get food out of it, but he likes food. But I wouldn't say he had a great time with this toy. Whereas Juno, who loves plush toys and squeaky toys even without food, had a great time, had no problem removing the ornaments and then tossing the thing around to get food out of. So no surprise, for Juno, this was a 5-star toy. And this is a really cheap toy too. And there are so many iterations of this. If you look online, this is obviously seasonal, but there are tons of them that are not, holiday specific. Pancake gave it 3 out of 5. If there's nothing else around, he'll check it out, but he has other things he likes better. Jasper gave it I think a generous 2 out of 5 stars, mainly because there was food in it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have even approached it, most likely. So 3.5 stars on average for the Christmas tree. Okay. Next batch of toys. We've got Coco. Remember, Coco is a toy enthusiast. She loves all toys, and she's also a fairly destructive player. She kills most things that she plays with. Most of these toys don't last very long. And she tried out 2 toys that were new to her. The first is the Jolly Ball. Has anyone used this before? You see these at animal shelters a lot because they tend to be durable, and a lot of the bully breeds like them. This one was the 8-inch Jolly Ball. It's kind of it's not super hard plastic, or super, it's kind of in the middle. It's not super hard or super soft. It has a handle on the top, although you may be able to see in this photo that the handle did not survive very long. Because of the handle, if you throw it, it kind of bounces unpredictably, and a lot of dogs really like that. It doesn't deflate if they pop it, if they put holes in it, but it doesn't stand up to really heavy chewers. So that's something to keep in mind. So let's see what Coco thought about this. Grabs it by the handle, tries to grab it by the handle. Very pleased, running around with it. They can kind of shake it, like they'd shake a stuffed toy by that handle as well. So you can tell by how it's bouncing. It's pretty light. It's not very heavy. So she really enjoyed this toy. It's meant to, play fetch. They'll entertain themselves. A lot of dogs will entertain themselves with this, but you can also throw it for them. So now, to be fair, Coco's not like a super critical judge of toys. She loves most toys, but she did give this one 5 stars. It was a ton of fun. She loved chewing on it. She loved chasing it. All right, next one is the Bristle Bone. I don't know if any of you have tried this. I have a couple of these at home as well. The bone itself is like a hard nylon, kind of like a nylabone. And then that orange thing, the next layer is a softer rubber with little nubs on it. And then in between, or after that, as you move inward, those are nylon bristles. And in this photo, there aren't any inserts in it, but it comes with, and then you can also buy refillable little rawhide type rings that you put usually between the rubber and the bristles to make this more interesting for your dog. And these, as far as I can tell, are very durable. I've occasionally seen very heavy chewers put some gouges into the hard ends there, but I've not seen one destroyed. So something to think about if you have a dog who loves chewing and is kind of destructive. So what did Coco think? She accepts the offering. She decided it was pretty good. It didn't quite get the 5 stars of the Jolly Ball, maybe because she couldn't destroy it, but 4.5 stars, pretty high rating from Coco for the Bristle Bone. So I like these actually because it gives you a little bit of something edible on the toy, but it's not very much, so it's probably low calorie. It kind of stretches that chew longer than if you just gave them a bully stick or a rawhide of some kind. A lot of dogs just power through that, but this kind of makes that little rawhide ring last longer. Okay, now we've got little Gracie, and if you remember, she has no teeth, and she's a teeny little thing. She's not a destroyer. She likes food toys, and she picked 2 new toys to try out. This squirrel toy is one of those stuffed toys that doesn't have stuffing in it, but it has this one has like kind of a crinkly paper stuff inside, so it makes crinkly sounds when they play with it. And then you can see there's kind of that rope stuff for the hands and feet or paws, I guess, of the squirrel. And in the head, there's a squeaker. So it hits a lot of the sort of different types of toys and textures and sounds. So what did tiny Gracie think? She was pretty excited. She did kind of want someone to play with her with this. She's looking up at mom or dad there. So the noises seem to be very exciting, very satisfying for her. All right. So Squirrel, 4 out of 5 stars. Pretty good. Would buy again. Would recommend. All right. And the other toy that Gracie tried out is this brick puzzle. It's one of the Nina Ottoman, I think it's Ottoman, puzzle toys. I'll have a link at the end where you can see where to find all these toys if you decide you want some of them. This is a hard plastic toy. It's fairly lightweight, but the plastic's pretty hard. I would say in its full form, in terms of difficulty as puzzle toys go, this is fairly advanced. Each of these red boxes is actually, it's a hollow box with a little lid that the dog has to lift up to get to the treats inside. And then there are also treats underneath both the bones and the little red boxes. And in order to get to those, the dog needs to remove the bone, the white bones there, and slide the boxes out of the way. So you can make it easier, and you'll see Gracie's family doing that for her a little bit in the video by like starting, don't have the bones there to start, or you could even have some of the boxes sitting open. But it's fair, it's, you know, reasonably high difficulty. So this is not that big of a puzzle, but Gracie's really small. You see she's using her paws. That's usually how my dogs open those boxes too. See how she's lifting the lid there, helping by taking out a bone, one of the plastic bone thingies. So Gracie loved this thing, spent a lot of time on it. 5 out of 5 stars. It's a resounding recommendation from a dog who loves food toys. So if your dog loves food toys, this might be worth giving a try. All right, Billy. Billy tried out 2 toys here. One is the pickle. Does anyone else have this? I have one of these. My dogs like it. Sorry for the barking. There must be something exciting going on outside. This thing is really pretty dense rubber. It's soft, but I actually haven't seen it torn up that often. And it has this thin, wavy pocket that goes pretty deep into the pickle on either side. I think it's on the other side. I have to go look at it now. It's pretty challenging to get stuff out of that pocket. So, and it's pretty durable, like I said. I've seen a few dents in it, but not much more than that. Probably the neighbor has dared to go outside. All right, so Billy says, all right, give me the pickle. I'll try it out. It looks like here Rachel is using peanut butter. You can do something soft like peanut butter or other goo. You can also do little bits of biscuit or kibble or treats or whatever. In that she wanted to carry it off into her lair apparently, but she was supposed to stay here for videoing. You can put different things in the little pocket. And it's another one of those situations where you can have a toy that takes kind of a while for the dog to work through. Okay, thanks. But it doesn't take that much. Like you can make a lot of treats stretch a long way with this thing if your dog is pretty persistent. All right. So this was fairly highly rated. Billy gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, nearly a perfect score. She spent a lot of time getting the peanut butter out. All right, this food bowl is like, if any of you have licky mats, it's kind of the same idea. It's silicone, but instead of being flat like a licky mat, it's, you know, concave in a bowl shape. And it has these little, it's textured. So you can spread something wet and mushy on the inside. You could freeze it if you want, just to make the eating a little more interesting. So not a real tough toy. As you can see, it's not like there are any deeps or crevices, or this texture is pretty small and subtle. So, but if you have a dog who wants like something easier to work on, this might be a good idea. But that was Billy's response. Billy looked at it, walked away. I'm not even sure. I think she was being pretty magnanimous to give it a 1.5 stars. She wasn't real interested in it. All right, and I think this is our last toys. This is Melissa's household. So 3 fairly different dogs testing these toys. The Mad Scientist is a food toy, puzzle toy, where as you can see, there's 3 like test tubes, plastic tubes with holes in the top. And it comes with different caps with different numbers of holes. So the ones you see in this photo, it's a screw-on cap and it has one pretty big hole in the top of each of the tubes. So it, you know, most treats would fall out really easily if they rotate the tubes. The other caps they come with have 3 holes that are smaller. So that would make it tougher if you had smaller treats. Although honestly, if you have a dog who's puzzled by this, a little, struggles a little bit, you could just leave caps off completely to start so that it's easier for them to get stuff out. All right. And so the dog has to rotate these to make things walk out. So here's Pepper. Remember, she's our persistent puzzler. She loves puzzles. She's a small dog, and you see she has to lift her paw pretty high to rotate these. It can be done with the nose as well, but I've mostly seen paws. She's such a cute little thing. Here's Bones. Sniff. Interesting. Nothing's happening. Later. So not enough instant gratification for Bones. And as it turns out, neither for Zuma. Remember, Zuma is also a lazy puzzler. She likes puzzles, but nothing too tough. So she said, meh, too much work. So Pepper gave it 4 out of 5 stars. She really enjoyed it, but both Zuma and Bones were not impressed. All right, and then this Tug of War toy is an interesting toy. It has a lot of different sort of features. So in theory, it's made, I think, for dogs who love to play tug, because they can play tug by themselves. There's a super strong suction cup. That's the blue thing there. That will hold this to a flat surface. Could be the floor, maybe a door, possibly. And then attached to a cord is a ball. It's a rubber ball, which has a squeaker in the top, I think in the blue part. So there's a squeaker, and there's also, see that kind of jagged hole? It's kind of like a weird mouth. You can also put treats in this ball. So that means this could be of interest. This toy could hit a lot of the boxes for a lot of different dogs. Tuggers, food puzzlers, dogs who love squeakers. But that hole is pretty big. So if you put food in there, it's going to come out pretty easily. All right, so Pepper is treating this more like a food toy. I think there's treats in there. And she's kind of rolling it, trying to get food out. This would, even if your dog doesn't like tug, this would be a way to have a food toy that stays in one area. If you're sick of your dog like rolling the food toy under the sofa 40 times in a row and then barking at you, or yep, there she just got a treat out. That would be another plus of this. Bones looks pretty excited about this. Now, Zuma is really into ball type toys in general, and she did play with this a bit. Although she seems a little bit, her mom said she seemed a little bit annoyed. She couldn't walk away with it. All right, so this was Bones' favorite toy. He gave it 5 out of 5. And really, it scored pretty well over the 3 dogs. So Pepper gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and Zuma gave it 3. I just thought of another use for this that might be handy. So besides just, keeping a food toy or a toy in one area of your house so your dog can't walk away with it or roll it under the sofa or whatever, you could also use it to station them potentially in a crate if you have the crate open. Often you'd like your dog, hey, go hang out in there. Here's a Kong, especially if you're in crate training and you don't want to close the door on them because your dog might not be ready to have the door closed, but then they just go in, pick up the Kong and walk away with it. I'd be interested if anyone tries this, I'd be interested to know if you can suction cup this to the bottom, that plastic tray in the bottom of a crate. Is something to entertain a dog in the crate. All righty. Oops. I forgot. I have to go over the winners first. Here are our winners. All right. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toys are all toys that got at least 1 5-star rating from a dog. So we're calling them the winners of our holiday toy review. We've got the iDig, the Plush Christmas tree, that Tug of War toy we just looked at, the Jolly Ball, and the brick puzzle. And before I got on the video, I made sure all of these toys have links on our recommended products page. That's the link at the bottom of this slide. They're just Amazon links. So, and there are other recommended toys there as well, stuff that we've tried and we liked, and other types of products. So if you forget I didn't use the full commercial names for these toys because they'd be really long for the slides. But if you're looking for one of them, go ahead and go to this page, the recommended products page, and then you can just browse and click. It'll take you to Amazon, so you can see the full description and the name. Many of them are also available through Chewy if you prefer. And some of them will be at pet stores as well. Oh, Frida loves crinkly toys. Yeah, I really like those too. Juno likes them as well, especially if they're crinkly and have squeakers. All right. So I finally got this organized. All the places you can get more free stuff or free content from us. We've got our blog, which has all of our past videos like this that we do every Monday with a little write-up. There's our Instagram, YouTube channel, and then our business page and our free Facebook support group. So if you're looking for more stuff from us, one of these places might fit the bill. All right. Any questions about any of the toys we've covered today? Do you have any of them? Do you have something that we didn't cover that you absolutely love? We honestly do a lot of snuffle mats here and activity mats. I didn't review one for this video, but my dogs are big fans of those. We probably have 8 or 9 snuffle mats at least, and a couple big activity mats. All right. Well, I hope you got some ideas for your pup. It's always good to have an excuse to buy more dog toys, right? And since the holidays are upon us, that's a good enough excuse in my book. So if you do try anything, if you do buy any of these, or you find something else you love, let us know. Post a photo or a little video under the video so we can see what you chose. And we're also always looking for ideas of more ways to spend money on our dogs. So we'd love to hear what you have liked and what you tried. All right, everyone, happy holidays. We're off next week, but we'll be back after the new year.